Hi, class. Okay, welcome to week 8. Here we are wrapping things up. Take a look at week 8. So we have got the week 8 overview. I'm not going to open that. That's pretty much self-explanatory, right? I don't think we need to go through that. But I do want to take a look at this presentation. Let me just reduce that a little bit. Okay, so we get over presentation trends in infographic design. Really interesting stuff here, guys. Read this and click the link too. I think it's pretty obvious that the trends in infographics pretty much are leaning. Future trends are leaning towards, and the future of infographic design pretty much lies in interactive infographics. Um, Utilizing motion graphics, and it's really some interesting stuff, guys. So you want to take a look at this link here. We also have some other trends, just kind of adding depth and dimension without going right into 3D design itself. But we do see some 3D design here as well. So 3D illustrative techniques, typography, typographic trends always are going to be applicable and appropriate for infographic design. So I think it's reasonable to say that current typographic trends are going to be found in current infographics. Same thing with color, guys. Exact same thing with color. I recommend all designers go through trends every year. So not because you want to be a trendy graphic designer, you want to see what's going on out there. There are color and type trends as well as layout trends that we find every year in and year out. In graphic design, and it's really important. And I think it's incumbent upon designers to make themselves familiar with those trends, if nothing else. I'm going to go ahead and say it. You can design with trends. Clients love trends, but you really want to be careful with trends, especially in things like logo design, because you don't want to design a trendy logo and have to turn around and redesign it in 3 years when that trend is over, right? Okay, so some really good stuff here. I've also bolstered that with the announcement with some really good links here for future trends in graphic design. There's some great examples in here, guys, of interactive motion graphic infographics. So really interesting stuff. I also want to talk a little bit about all of the links that I have left in the class. A few students have asked and kind of said, hey, we got so much in the class, but I really appreciate you leaving all of these links and outside information. I'm just kind of concerned that I'm not going to be able to get it all. And, I just kind of want to kind of wrap things up by saying the reason I leave all of these is for you to be able to kind of just go through week by week the announcements and in the course materials and grab these. Just go ahead and grab these infographics. Basically, if you look at the announcements and in the grading too, there's also plenty of resources in grading. And what you want to do is you want to just kind of build your own library. That's why I've left all this there. I've left this there so that as the class comes to a close, and you still want to learn about infographics, etc., and you keep your folder for reference even in the future when you have an infographic project as a professional designer, you can go back to your folder, your student folder for this class, and you have basically a categorized list of resources by topic that you can carry forward. And there are, I think I've probably left a total of probably 40 or 50 resources. So it's just really a way for you to start your library moving forward in your pursuit of excellence in this particular discipline of infographic design. Okay, we have our learning outcomes and our tasks as well, guys. And then, of course, we've got our final coming up here. Now, really important that you go through all of your critical comments and the critiques also of your peers. Now, don't forget the peer critique is a public forum. So I think it's really smart for students to go through and take a look at as many video critiques from your peers as possible, because it's quite probable that many of the comments in those videos are applicable to your own work. So I think it's reasonable to say that it would be wise to include all of those in your preparation for the final presentation of the infographic poster. We have our last checkpoint. This is it, guys. But final critique, this is it. So let's get those in early. Please get those in early. That way I can provide final comments and you can apply for your final submission coming up at the end of the week. Okay, guys, that's really basically all I have. I also want to thank you guys for a wonderful class. Very, very engaged group. This has been a treat. This class has basically been on autopilot because you guys have done an amazing. You're very, very engaged as a group. Good forward progress as a group. I feel the level of learning, I would say, was extremely, extremely successful in this class, and that is in large part due to the dedication and effort of all of the students in the class. So great big pat on the back to all of you. Thank you very much. And I do want to remind you what we have the evaluation coming up, the course evaluation. You're going to have you also have an annual satisfaction survey too. So the course evaluation is really important to me, guys. And those of you who have had me before, you know I'm really, really adamant about asking you to fill out that survey. You'll get information in your email here in the next couple of days. Please take those course satisfaction surveys. It's the only way we can improve. So if you appreciate the level of engagement and the style of instruction, please let that be known in your satisfaction surveys. And it's really, really important, guys. I really, really would like to ask you a huge favor and fill those out. I really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, again, thank you for a wonderful class. Because the class is over doesn't mean our student-instructor relationship has to end. I invite all my students to keep in contact with me for any of your future education needs, advice, critique, and or just to say hi. Okay, I still have students contacting me that have graduated several years ago, so it's an open invitation, guys. Please feel free to keep my contact information in use accordingly. Again, guys, thanks for a great class. Questions, comments, concerns, and of course, any clarifications, please let me know. I'll be glad to provide anything that you need in that regard. And I'll see you guys in discussion board. All right, thank you very much.